We may have news as soon as Monday about whether this racism is going to go by without any court intervention to stop it from happening. I told you about last week how we sued last week on behalf of a white Daily Caller news reporter, Thomas Catanacci. He works for the Daily Caller News Foundation. He sought an interview with the Chicago Mayor, Lori Lightfoot. And Lori Lightfoot had said that she was only going to give interviews to minority reporters and not white reporters. And so this reporter, Thomas, was denied a request. He asked 3 times. He didn't get an answer. So we sued in federal court, a civil rights lawsuit, First Amendment, and other violations of his rights. Government officials can't violate the law in the civil rights context in terms of telling a reporter they can't get an interview based on their race. So we're in federal court right now on behalf of Thomas and his friends at the Daily Caller News Foundation, our friends too. And so we filed the lawsuit. And last week, we kind of picked up the pace and filed a motion for a preliminary injunction, which essentially seeks immediate relief. And in the motion, we describe this, and this is something to give you some background. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is only granting interviews to journalists of color, to quote unquote, to mark the 2-year anniversary of her inauguration. Plaintiff Thomas Catanacci, a white journalist for the Daily Caller News Foundation, requested an interview with Mayor Lightfoot on her 2-year anniversary. To date, almost 2 weeks after plaintiff's request, and despite 2 follow-up emails, Mayor Lightfoot has not agreed to interview with Catanacci, apparently due to the mayor's journalists of color only interview policy. The mayor's refusal to be interviewed by Catanacci violates plaintiff's First Amendment rights and his right to equal protection. Plaintiffs move for a preliminary injunction to prevent further irreparable harm. Again, she told reporters she would only grant one-on-one interviews only to Black or brown journalists. I'd like to know, for instance, if we get to this point, how do you figure out if a journalist is Black or brown? Is there some sort of proof you demand? Do you go by looks alone? If someone is partially Black or partially Hispanic, do they get to go in? How's that racial bean counting to be done by this mayor? What an outrage, isn't it? In your face racism. In your face racism. There's no excuse for racial discrimination. This is our client. Every day that goes by without the mayor granting my interview request because of my race violates my rights and tramples on the First Amendment. And Neil Patel, who runs the Daily Caller News Foundation, he's their president, it's bonkers we had to file this lawsuit. Chicago's mayor should not be discriminating against journalists based on their color. That's something that every normal American understands. And as I point out, immediate court action is necessary, and Mayor Lightfoot is not above the law. So the court announced today I'm recording this on Friday, that he's going to have a hearing on, I say he, it could be a female judge, I forget the judge's name. There'll be a hearing on Monday on our motion for preliminary injunction. So we may have news as soon as Monday about whether this racism is going to go by without any court intervention to stop it from happening. So that's what Judicial Watch has been busy with this week. It shows you, I mean, we're doing work on coronavirus, election integrity. I'll talk about that next. Every topic under the sun, practically speaking, immigration, everything. I mean, Judicial Watch is the nation's largest and most effective government watchdog group, and there's a lot to watch.
Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all the latest news from Judicial Watch.